The former First Minister is reported to have held a secret meeting with some of her closest allies ahead of giving evidence to the COVID inquiry. Nicola Sturgeon held secret meetings with her closest allies before giving evidence at the UK COVID inquiry, it has been revealed. Former SNP leader Nicola Sturgeon gave evidence to the UK COVID inquiry earlier this year following a confidential meeting with senior Scottish Government officials. Ms Sturgeon was joined by John Swinney, now First Minister, and former Chief Medical Officer Catherine Calderwood during the meeting last summer. The details of the summit have remained under wraps, but emails show Ms Sturgeon was keen to discuss the inquiry ahead of giving evidence, the Scottish Daily Express reports. The Scottish Government has previously denied coaching witnesses prior to them giving evidence to the UK COVID inquiry. According to the emails, Ms Sturgeon sent a letter which included feedback on the inquiry process to the Scottish Government's Permanent Secretary John Paul Marks. Subsequently, a meeting was organised and, at the former First Minister's insistence, a short paper was prepared to allow senior representatives to properly respond to the latest inquiry request. Ms Sturgeon had previously given evidence to the inquiry in London in June 2023, but was due to attend a second hearing following the secretive summit. Scottish Conservative Chairman Craig Hoy said, John Swinney and Nicola Sturgeon would be advised to explain what the purpose of this meeting was and what was discussed at it. We know from the UK COVID inquiry that both the current and former First Ministers, along with senior SNP government officials, were complicit in an orchestrated mass deletion of WhatsApp messages, so it's only natural that the public will be suspicious about this meeting prior to them giving evidence. Ms Sturgeon gave evidence to the UK COVID inquiry in January, during which she shed tears over her handling of public health. The former First Minister told the inquiry of how planning for a pandemic had been hampered by a greater focus on planning for a no-deal Brexit. Ms Sturgeon confessed the existing pandemic strategy, the UK Influenza Pandemic Preparedness Strategy, which was produced in 2011 following the swine flu outbreak, was ill-suited to manage the spread of COVID-19. She has been accused of presiding over a Scottish government shrouded in secrecy after she confessed to deleting WhatsApp messages relating to the pandemic period, as did Mr Swinney. The SNP declined to comment on the allegations, while a spokesperson for the Scottish Government said, in common with other public inquiries, the UK Government and other devolved administrations, the Scottish Government has a responsibility to offer appropriate support to those asked to present evidence to the UK COVID-19 inquiry in relation to their role in the Scottish Government's response to the pandemic.